put out by the Lucis Trust. It used to be the Lucifer Publishing House. They used to put it out regularly. Ever since we started talking about it, we never get it. They stopped doing that. In fact, many of the things that we have, I no sooner talk about them than they pull them off their webpage. But let me read to you, and of course you'll find all of this included in the syllabus. We've taken the important parts of it out, but we'd like you to have the original document as well. Throughout time, the idea of a group of wise and enlightened beings working behind the scenes to guide our planet has been conveyed in spiritual teachings, in literature, and in myth. The group, known by various names such as the spiritual hierarchy, the masters of wisdom, and the elder brothers, has ever come forth in times of crisis, and today will be no different. Great teachers such as Socrates, Shri Krishna, Muhammad, and Buddha, and the Christ have all been members of the hierarchy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Christ they're talking about is not the Christ that we worship, let me tell you. And here's what they say in this little pamphlet. The Masters of Wisdom are a worldwide group of executives, adept and skilled in the various fields of work in the modern world, organized into a close network of communication throughout the world with representatives in all nations, both East and West, and working in the closest cooperation. The overall hierarchy organization has three major divisions, one having responsibility for world political progress or governance, the second having responsibility for teaching in its three aspects, education, religious, and healing, and a third division having responsibility for all economic progress. Industry, labor, capital relations, scientific discovery, and finance, as it pertains to all fields. So according to them, they have their people planted in finance all throughout the world. I won't read the rest of it to you, but I believe that these people, you should look at what's going on, so much of it doesn't make sense. Certainly, when AIG, the American Investment Group, this largest insurance company in the world, was on the brink of financial disaster, and a few $1 billion, maybe 30 or 40 $billion would have gotten out of trouble. What did the Treasury and the US and the Federal Reserve do? Absolutely nothing. And over a weekend, why the whole system collapsed and could have brought down the entire world financial system through the cascading of derivatives and credit default swaps. So by Monday, they had to put out $85 billion, and then, of course, another $25 billion. It comes to 35, and it comes to about $125 billion. That's another 35. So it could come to about $135 billion that they could have gotten away with for $30 billion simply by letting them borrow money from the Treasury. And yet they collapsed this and started this whole cascade of derivative swaps. Why would intelligent people do that? Well, it's not that they're stupid. They want you to believe that they are stupid. But these people have a different agenda. They have an ultimate goal. A new world order, a new world financial system, a new world currency, a new world religion with the destruction of Christianity, which is why they took God and prayer and the Ten Commandments out of our schools. And when you understand that, all of this makes sense. If you try to look at it rationally, it really doesn't. Well then, what can we do? Is there any hope? Of course there's hope. In fact, of course, we are very fortunate because we understand what's going on. And of course, back 489 years ago, why, there was a man named Martin Luther. Martin Luther was a Catholic priest who believed in the Catholic faith, but he wanted to reform it because he saw the injustice that was taking place at that time and how the church was being used not to pursue the work of God, but the work of Satan. And of course, then he led the Protestant Reformation, and there were many reforms that came out of Luther's work. Many people recognize the truth of it, but in 1529, Martin Luther wrote about the same problem we have today. And this is what he said. A mighty fortress is our God, a bulwark never failing. Our helper he amid the flood of mortal ills prevailing. For still our ancient foe doth seek to work us woe, his craft and power great, and armed with cruel hate on earth is not his equal. And though the world with devils filled should threaten to undo us, we will not fear, for God hath willed his truth to triumph through us. The prince of darkness grim, we tremble not for him. His rage we can endure, and lo, his doom is sure. One little world so fell him. And Martin Luther recognized the spiritual battle in which we're involved today. There really are people who follow the prince of darkness in this world, as there have always been since the time of Nimrod. And this is all coming to its fruition at this time in history, and we are privileged to be part and parcel of what's going on and to have the opportunity to reach others. I've been at this for 46 years, and I really believe that we have more of an opportunity today to reach people than ever before, because people want answers, and we have them. You can't tell them everything I'm telling you today in one session. We have a number of DVDs, we have a number of pamphlets. You're welcome to copy anything that we have, as long as you're not making a profit. Just get it out. We want to get the information to people, because we will not only change their attitude towards the world, hopefully we'll change their attitude towards God and eternity, and bring many people into the kingdom. And that is our purpose. That's the real purpose of our ministry. We talk about medicine, we talk about finance, but we really are trying to bring people into a personal relationship with our Lord, and that has to be your objective as well. And so understand that we're involved in a spiritual battle that is being played out on a political, ideological, cultural, financial, and educational battlefield, but it is primarily a spiritual battle. We're told, of course, that we struggle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this earth, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. That is our calling, that is our goal, that is our promise. God bless you, and thank you so very much.